So I did not introduce myself. My name is Dr. Marla Coonan, and I'm the Executive Dean for Strategy and Stakeholder Management here at the Vinci Institute. But today I am indeed honored to be your Program Director and to celebrate alongside you as you graduate from your Bachelor of Commerce degree today. So I will start off by saying greetings, Groete, Lochani, Molo, Sawubona, Dumela, Avuksheni. I think I've remembered them all, and welcome to this momentous occasion, the 2021 graduation ceremony, to our graduates sitting here as well as our graduates that have joined us online. I welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Johanna or Dr. Linky van Rensburg-Welling, who is going to be joining you, and she's going to be speaking with you today. Our Senate representative to the side of me, Dr. Zingai Katsamba, and our council representative and acting CEO of the Davincians Institute, Professor Habia Klopper, and alongside him is our registrar, Ms. Louise Fuller. Distinguished guests from industry who've also joined us online, community members, family, friends, but most importantly, our spectacular shining stars, our 2021 graduates. The event, as I said, is currently live streamed, but we also do put things up on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. But I do encourage each and every one of you to please share with us as you and your family celebrate. So if you take photos, videos, etc., please feel free to tag us. We want to see what's happening in your lives and what is happening in general around your celebrations. And I think as you stand before the congregation today, I hope that you will take great pride in what you've achieved. It is not an easy journey to be an adult learner, to still study and reach the milestone that you've achieved. And I want each and every one of you to really celebrate and to enjoy the day. But to also know that as that cap goes over your head, that there is a sense of responsibility that comes with your education. And I know that each of you has focused on things like the return on investment in your research and in your studies, and to pay homage today to what you have done as part of your research endeavors, I am going to announce the project title of each of your Bachelor of Commerce projects that you embarked on for your work-based challenge. Not because it's the only thing you've done to get here, because as we know, you have done multiple things to get to this point, but also to just say to you that you have already contributed to the body of knowledge by doing work like this. And I hope that as you step out there and step forward, you will take that with you. You will see that this year the theme of the graduation is the Da Vinci Galaxy. And many people have asked us why we've selected the galaxy. And there are multiple reasons, some of which I'll discuss throughout today. But one of the biggest reasons is around the fact that the galaxy itself and the sky and what is out there is something that also has an element of mystery, curiosity, and the unknown. Even though we have studied science, technology, we have all these amazing things that we've developed in innovative ways, we still to this day cannot know and discover everything that is out there in our Milky Way, in our galaxy. And for us, that is important as a Da Vinci student to remember that it is good to have things that are disruptive and unknown and a bit chaotic in our lives, because that is the way that we truly stretch our mind beyond that which is known. You all know that you did the 9 dots, no doubt, when you started at Da Vinci and being told, you know, what do you see? And many of us, because of our own upbringing, and that has nothing to do with our parents and our loved ones, it's societal upbringing, we stay within the boundaries and boxes. And then I'm sure Prof. Ben did yours, and he says, and what about stretching beyond that point? And that is what we want you to do, to always stretch your minds beyond that point. But to importantly remember that every single one of you here today has your own story. You all come with your own background, your own unique upbringing, your own unique families, and they are imprinted on the narrative of your story. So I like to call them the roots of your story. And once your roots are firmly grounded, nothing stops you from having wings. So write whichever rest of the chapters of your story that you want to write. knowing that the foundation of your life is there with your roots, and each and every one of you can have the wings to fly free and do as you wish. And at Da Vinci, we hope you will always be looking up and reaching for that galaxy and stars that is unique to each and every single one of you today. It now gives me indeed great pleasure to open the ceremony before we actually begin with our guest speaker speaking today. This is a formal congregation, and therefore it is a legal gathering and has to be opened by a member of Senate. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Dingai Kasamba, who is going to formally open this congregation as a congregation constituted by the Senate of the Da Vinci Institute. Dr. Kasamba.
By the power vested in me, as a Senate member of the Da Vinci Institute, I constitute this congregation as a lawful gathering. Thank you.
Thank you. So we are now granted to begin awarding qualifications, but before we do so, you are certainly going to be inspired by someone who I find inspirational. Dr. Linky van Rensburg-Welling is someone who, when I looked at her study of her own PhD, it really just absolutely blew my mind, because I think what she does for this community is incredible. Her thesis title was Accessible Career Paths for Persons with Different Degrees of Hearing Loss at the National Institute for the Deaf. So although she comes to us very much from the food and beverages background, so understands business and understands all those aspects, she has dedicated many of her years of her career to training and to really uplifting people within the community. And I really think that she is somebody who, as a registered facilitator, she's an assessor, she's a moderator, she's a skills development facilitator as well, that she, after pursuing her work in the hospitality industry, she decided that she wanted to make a change in her own life, and she discovered her true passion in education training. She joined the TUT, which is the Tshwane University of Technology, in 1991, where she was director of one of the university centers of excellence. And over a period of almost 2 decades, she committed herself to skills development. And what I love most about her work is that it was skills development for the unemployed youth to look at job creation, aspects I'm sure you all agree towards a sustainable society that are critical for people to become entrepreneurs and to become self-starters. She then joined the Compass Group Southern Africa, which is part of Global Corporate, as the National Talent Manager in 2007. And she had the privilege for 8 years of traveling the world and seeing everything out there. But her heart needed to come to rest, and her relationship with the National Institute for the Deaf started in 2000, when she assisted the National Institute for the Deaf to become an accredited private training provider, which is no easy feat. After leaving the corporate world, she joined that institution in 2015 as the Chief Training Officer, and she has made multiple leaps and bounds within that space. And then she dedicated her own PhD studies towards her passion. And I really think that this is something last year when you graduated, I admired about you, and when we read your abstract. But over and above that, your main focus being on skills development for gainful employment in an attempt to address 85% unemployment rate amongst the deaf and disabled in our country is something that not only makes you a true Da Vincian, but someone who really co-creates sustainable societies for those who are voiceless. You use your voice for them. And that, honestly, Dr. Janse van Rensburg-Welling, is what I have always admired about you. So without further ado, I think we really do have an incredible speaker in our midst today. And I welcome Dr. Linky Janse van Rensburg-Welling.
Dignified guests, members of the faculty, family, parents, friends, and graduate class of 2021. Thank you for the opportunity to share this milestone event with you today. While I was very honored to be invited to be the keynote speaker at the 2021 BCom graduation ceremony, I admit that writing this speech was even harder than writing my own thesis. And believe me, I would have never imagined that there would be anything harder than that. The hard part about it is that I was told that my speech had to make you laugh first, then cry, and then inspire you. And it had to be short. So as you can see, that's not a very easy task to accomplish, but I will try. So I thought long and hard about this, and I've decided to talk to you not about a specific topic today, but I'm rather going to share with you some of my most precious life experiences. The things that you don't find in academic textbooks, and the things they don't teach you at varsity. So after achieving a few qualifications, and literally working with passion and commitment for many, many years, I will never forget my father's question to me on my 40th birthday. He came to me and he said to me, "My darling child, when are you going to get a real job?" Now you can imagine how surprised I was, because at that age, I've traveled the world, have been the youngest director of a Center of Excellence at a University of Technology, raised funding for the training and work placement of more than 6,000 unemployed youth, completed a master's degree, consulted to the biggest and the best in government and private sector, held a very senior leadership position at a global corporate company, made and lost millions by playing with the big dogs in the property market and the stock exchange, and played an active role changing the lives of people with disabilities. So you see, at that age, in my world, I was really on top of things. But with the generation gap between us, him being from the silent traditionalist generation and me being a typical Generation X, he simply couldn't understand that one doesn't have to stay in the same job for 40 years with medical aid and pension benefits and then retire with a golden watch. To the traditionalist generation, it is all about hard work, loyalty to your employer, history, disciplined work ethic, structure, authority, seniority, and they were very supportive of a hierarchy. So with the mindset of the world is my oyster and go big or go home, I literally used that in one of the interviews that I attended, my way of work and lifestyle as an independent, entrepreneurial, resourceful, skeptical, direct, transparent, pragmatic, adaptable person with transferable skills, preferring a casual work environment, simply did not make sense to him. Similar to how our son's way of work and lifestyle as a millennial, who is tech-savvy, can multitask, is self-confident, diverse, competitive, optimistic, and prefers a workplace flexibility, and to do meaningful work in a collaborative work environment doesn't make sense to my husband and I. Because while we are slaving away behind our computers, making plans to change the world, he is busy with pottery, karate, meditating, working at a soup kitchen, and by the way, doing all of this with his 3 part-time jobs to sustain himself. The point is, no matter from which generation you are, no matter what you do, if you do what you love, you will never work a day in your life. Your work will become like your hobby. Think carefully about the different generations that I've mentioned. Research them, because you will find them in your workplace. And understanding this unique situation of having 5 different generations in the workplace will help you understand your colleagues better. After spending many years in the academic world, I can confirm that graduation is about more than walking across the stage to collect a diploma or a degree. It marks an important day in your lives, yet it is also the beginning of a new, exciting journey. To get to this point was an important achievement in itself, for which I commend you all. The personal competencies that got you here, passion, commitment, tenacity, and open minds to learn, will be important throughout your lives. Nurture them. They will be even more important than what you have learned. We are all acutely aware that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the world faces mass suffering and economic devastation, and nations will need to pull together to rebuild their economies. You, the graduating class of 21, don't need a keynote speaker to paint a picture of the troubled areas of the earth. The inextricable ties between the people of the world are something that your generation understands better than perhaps any that has come before it. Many of you have been logging onto the internet since you could read. As babies, you thought a magazine was a broken iPad. You've grown up with access to pop culture, news and perspectives from societies thousands of miles from home. The major challenges looming over your future, like disease outbreaks, climate change, gender inequality, and poverty, are also being confronted by your peers in every part of the globe. So what does all of this mean for the next chapter of your lives? As a member of our global community, your actions can have a global impact, whether in your professional goals, in your life, and whoever you are. There are ways, big and small, that you can participate in making the world better for everyone. You can use your voice to advance change. You can insist on policies that create a healthier, better future for everyone, everywhere, whether they live down the street from you or on the other side of the planet. It is true that you are entering this new phase of your life at a daunting time. For many of you, the path you have envisioned after graduation may suddenly be much steeper, with so many things to worry about, from your health to your family to what the job market looks like at the moment. And it is understandable that you may need to put on hold some of the bigger questions about your role in improving the world. But there is no question that you have a role to play, whether that's now or in the future. You've inherited a world that has already proven that progress is possible, a world that is rebuilt after several wars, vanquished diseases, fed a growing population, and enabled people to climb out of extreme poverty. That progress didn't happen by accident or fate. It was the result of people just like you, who made a commitment that whatever else they did with their lives and careers, they would contribute to this shared mission of propelling us all forward. Class of 21, these are not easy times, but we will get through them. And with your generation's leadership, the world will be stronger than ever before. COVID-19 left no sector in our country and the world unaffected, and its consequences will be felt for years to come. This pandemic, which created a new normal for the entire world, affected our lifestyles and demanded that we adopt new strategies to keep our businesses and communities afloat. As a Davincian, follow in the footsteps of the great polymath himself. Have an insatiable and curious approach to life, as well as an unrelenting quest for continuous learning. Understand that all great acts of genius began with the same consideration. Do not be constrained by your present reality. Start your new journey as a graduate with a commitment to test knowledge through experience, persistence, and a willingness to learn from past mistakes. Recognize the interconnectedness of all things and phenomena, with the realization that it isn't always about coming up with something totally new. Sometimes it is about seeing the links between how to use old things in new ways. Be willing to embrace change through your ability to adapt to a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous VUCA world. Peter F. Drucker, one of the great thinkers of the 20th century, pointed some 40 years ago to a change in our society. He demonstrated that we are moving from a more protective and cozier employee society towards a more challenging and demanding entrepreneurial society. Now, this does not mean everybody is an entrepreneur, but it means that wherever you stand, even when employed by a company, you have to act in an entrepreneurial spirit. It means that the social compact is changing and that you have to take responsibility for yourselves. Should you be worried about this? Should you regret the gradual vanishing of the golden cages that corporations and public sector organizations were so great in building? I frankly don't think so. But you better get ready. Change is upon us, and it is accelerating. Drucker was the master in bringing things to the point. And he said, I quote, "You cannot manage change. You must get ahead of it. First in your minds, and then in your practice and your lives." In conclusion, many years ago, as a young graduate, our university released its graduates with a very powerful message. And since my first graduation, I've lived by these words that I want to share with you today. Cherish it and carry it in your heart always, and you will be successful. I believe that strength of character and the search for opportunities are the products of initiative and innovation. I will therefore always strive to be outstanding rather than mediocre. I've learned to be resourceful and creative. I will with enthusiasm grasp and use all the opportunities I encounter. Being a true entrepreneur, I will always consider the challenge to be greater than the risk. My independence and my self-respect are my pride and my honor. My knowledge is my strength, and my skills is my security. I will not bow before any man, nor flee from any risk. My education and my abilities will enable me to stand proud and tall, unafraid of the future, and with the strength and independence to think for myself and to act on my own. To enjoy the fruits of my initiative with pride, to serve my country, and to look the world straight in the eyes and say, "This I did with the help of my God." Graduates, remember, create impact and change lives whenever possible, because the more you give in life, the more you will receive. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Dr. Janse van Rensburg-Welling. I'm sure you will agree, indeed an inspirational speaker. But a few of the things that I took out was, number one, being a change agent and bringing change is never easy. It's not an easy role that we have. But it is in some ways our responsibility as those that have the skills and capabilities to do so. So I do hope that as you bring about change in your own lives today, as you get your qualification and going forward, that this is something that you always remember. And I'll remember the words about having pride and honoring who you are, that your education and abilities, as Dr. Janse van Rensburg-Welling said, my education and abilities allow me to stand proud and tall and be independent and be an independent thinker. And I hope that every single one of you, as you go out into the world, you remember the Da Vinci lenses and how you should view the world from various aspects, taking into account your personal identity and who you are, and self-reflecting on what is important to you as an individual, looking at those in your community, your family, your cultural settings and your religious settings who play a massive role, those in your organizations, either those that you employ or who are employees, and that you will also look at the trends in the world, the local and the global trends, and you will never see the world in singularity, but rather in the multiple lenses that you have learnt about, so that when you inflict change on the world, you do so from a position of deep and critical thinking, but also compassion. So I agree with you on many fronts today, and I would say that the strength of character that comes from each and every individual is born from that shining star within each and every one of us. And now it is time for the most exciting part, which is when you get to graduate. So the first part of what I need to do is I have to formally request to Dr. Katsamba to ask his permission if I can confer graduates for today, after which that will be when we've officially opened the graduation ceremony in terms of conferring the qualifications. So I would like to please, before I start, call on Mr. Nadzo Mafadza. I don't know if you are here. Okay, not here. For the Rolex representative to come on stage. So unfortunately he's not here, but we will congratulate on behalf. So I'm starting off by saying I request to the Senate representative to confer the qualification Bachelor of Commerce in Business Management to the graduates that I present to you today. Thank you. I would like to please ask the academic procession to stand as we start with our first graduates. The following student completed electives in supply chain management. Eutheshni Govender. Please do feel free to cheer, sing, dance, yell, or whatever you wish to do. Eutheshni's project title is Creating Competitiveness Through Enhancing and Automating Supply Chain Processes. I will wait for your photo to be taken because otherwise I interrupt our photographers. Eutheshni, you see, they look at me if I talk. Eutheshni, we congratulate you and your family and stand proud today. The work that you've done in your research in terms of bringing in both technology and automation into a very tough space, you have certainly combined technology, innovation, and people. We congratulate you and your family today. Well done. Our graduates mustn't be shy. We have small graduations so that each and every one of you can be celebrated with your family and enjoy your moments in the sunshine. Okay, and then just a moment, because I'm not calling you Heidi. Our next graduate who is graduating in absentia. So at the Davincians Institute, at all institutes, once your name is in a program and we conclude the ceremony, you have graduated. But out of respect for those who can't join us, we also choose to name those that graduate in absentia. So you don't have to worry, Rowan. I didn't think that was who you were. So Heidi Oberholzer graduates in absentia. Project title: Leaders' Responsibilities in Managing Risk in Preparation of the Fifth Industrial Revolution. We congratulate Heidi in absentia. Before we start with the students that are graduating now, I would like to please call Asso Martin Marishen from the South African Express Parcel Association, which I'll term SAPER from now on, who's going to join us on stage to congratulate the students that I present before you. Martin will also be in the photos and to congratulate the students. Our first student is Rowan Bainkies. I would also like to point out and ask you to give Rowan an extra round of applause because he has received his qualification cum laude. Rowan's project title is Building Sustainability Through Entrenching Knowledge Sharing in the Culture of DSV Healthcare. Rowan, it is not only extremely difficult to receive a qualification cum laude, I'll let Louise cap you and take your photo, but the fact that you worked on aspects around sustainability and how these can be entrenched is something that I really do admire. Sustainability is a very abstract concept and people don't always understand it. And today you should stand here with pride with your family in knowing that you stepped to the top of the mountain and you received it cum laude. Congratulations. Our next candidate up today is Craig Michael Farrer. Craig's project title is The Use of Single Point of Contact to Improve Customer Service, a Logistics Case Study. Craig, as you receive your cap today and you get donned with your qualification, I really believe that customer service, and I often speak to this, is something that we lack in this country. And the fact that you focused on this area and you looked at something specifically directed towards customer centricity is something I really believe contributes. I congratulate you and your family today on your remarkable achievement. Well done. Our next student that will be graduating today is Sanet Johanna Kleinhans. Sanet's project title is Increasing Profitability Through the Reduction of Logistics Waste, a DSV Healthcare Case Study. Sanet, today, as you receive your qualification as our registrar caps you, I really think that aspects related to building organizations, which you have done in terms of increasing profitability in the space, means that people remain and can have their jobs, which in a country that is desperately struggling against employment issues is something that I really do believe is towards sustainability. Some people think creating profit is about wealth, but it's actually also about caring for those who are in the system. And that's how I choose, and when I read your study, look at it. So congratulations. Well done. Please, will you guys smile at the cameraman, because he's getting very angry with me that you look at me and not him. Okay. Our next candidate who is going to be up is Mbulahleni Patrick Mukudwane. Mbulahleni, my apologies for your surname, was a tongue twister there. So Mbulahleni's project title is Improving Service Delivery at FedEx through Increased Employee Engagement. I will wait until you get your cap to continue, because I want you to smile as you receive it. As your cap is donned and you wear your qualification, I really think the fact that you looked at the improvement of service delivery connected to employee engagement is really important. I believe that employees who are loyal and engaged within the organization will shift productivity towards an organization's success. And I really found that a fascinating aspect, and I hope today you and your entire family are so proud of this remarkable achievement. Congratulations. Our next candidate who is up is Ramona Munsami. Ramona's project title is Creating Competitiveness Through Enhancing and Automating Supply Chain Processes. I think all of us can agree that the influence and impact of technology has played a massive role, especially during COVID. And the fact that you've looked specifically at the automation and enhancement in this space is something I really believe will contribute both to society and to your industry that you are now an expert in. So I congratulate you and your entire family today. Well done. Our next candidate receiving his qualification is Dylan John Roberts. Don't worry, some people bash it over, bash it down, it's okay. Dylan's project title is The Reduction of Costs Through the Use of Outsourcing in Logistics. Dylan, as you don your cap today and receive your qualification from our registrar, you see I'm distracting, I will stop. Okay, so please everyone watch Dylan get his qualification before I continue. As Louise caps Dylan, I want to congratulate the Roberts family on your remarkable achievement, and you yourself, Dylan, on this journey that you've embarked on. I think looking at things like cost reduction is critical to keeping companies going. We all know that in the global pandemic, it's become a massive aspect. But I appreciated the way that you looked at the fact that it was in the logistics space, so not to disrupt and interrupt processes, systems, services. And I congratulate you on that. Congratulations. Our next candidate to graduate is Michelle Scott. You see, I said so, Michelle. I told you. That's okay. Now that means you have to do your PhD one day, because then you get hit with the mace. Michelle, we congratulate you with project title, Reducing Absenteeism to Improve Workplace Performance. I've said many times that the management of people is a critical part of what the TIPS framework stands for. And I really believe that looking at things like absenteeism, which connect to things like mental health and they connect to other aspects, it is not just about people being sick. It is all kinds of personal issues. I think that looking at the people of the organization truly shows, if you think of the TIPS model, that combination between innovation and people makes an engaging organization. So for your contribution to engagement, I congratulate you and your family today. Well done. Our last candidate will graduate in absentia, and it is Tinus. Oh, so my apologies, Tinus. I think you've joined us on Zoom, if I'm not mistaken. Is Tinus online? Okay, if Tinus is online, we will open the mic if he wants to speak. We congratulate Tinus Kun Sarfontein, graduating today in absentia, and we congratulate you with project title, The Impact of Increased Retail and B2C, or Business to Client, Business on Profitability, a DSV case study. Tinus couldn't join us today, but we congratulate him in absentia. Congratulations. Martine, I would like to thank you and SAPA for the perpetual and continual development you make in students. I really think when you think of the message we received today, you do change people's lives, and I really think that you are somebody who shifts spaces continually. So thank you very much to you and to SAPA for all you do for education. Congratulations. And then before our academic procession sits down, I would like to congratulate, and I hope the guys from SA Home Loans can unmute their mics. So last year, we had our group of BCom students at SA Home Loans based in Durban who were going to have their graduation ceremony, but unfortunately, the week we were flying to Durban to all go stand there for them, the lockdown regulations were shifted and we were unable to go. They had to graduate without us there, but graduate they did. They received their qualifications, but we found it fitting that we would today mention each of their names. They're sitting in the boardroom. They can see all of us here. They join us. We want to say a hearty congratulations, and I will mention each of your names. To miss a graduation is not always easy in the sense of it's your time to be proud of who you are and what you've achieved. So as you form part of our congregation today in the 2021 graduation, we want to congratulate each and every one of you for being our remarkable stars. And last year, our symbol for graduation was the kite. And the reason for that, it was the Davincians 9 dots. And we spoke about the fact that you should fly free, you should fly high, way up and above and beyond any possibility. And I know that each and every one of you has done just that as Davincians graduates for the last year. We're extremely proud of you. We wish you could have joined us here in Joburg. We wish we could have joined you in Durban last year. But I would like to mention your names today in honor of your achievement. First of all, and first up, we have Letitia Ismay Atkins. Congratulations. We have Karin Button. Congratulations. We have Beverly Candace Chetty. Congratulations. We have Labesh Govender. Labesh sadly passed away, and so we give him his qualification posthumously, and we wish much love to his family. It is indeed still an honor in his name to be honored. So we stand silently and proudly for Labesh Govender. We congratulate Neven Govender. Congratulations. Sharon Keita. Congratulations. We congratulate Taslim Khan. Congratulations. We congratulate Gary Mudley. Congratulations. We congratulate Vagandran Mudley. Congratulations today. We congratulate Shabnam Mohammed. Congratulations. We congratulate Pranisha Naidu. We congratulate Sharona Naidu. We congratulate Adrian Craig Rutt. And lastly, we congratulate Mandy Amelia Stanton. I would like an extra round of applause for Mandy, who received her qualification cum laude. I'd like to thank all those at SA Home Loans for investing in our students, and to those students who missed your graduation, you are here with us in spirit, absolutely, but we are so glad you could join us for our 2021 graduation ceremony. Thank you very much to the academic procession. You may be seated. Before we close off our graduation, it gives me indeed great pleasure to be able to speak to you about a few things. The first part of it is that every year at the Davincians Institute, we roll out a research report, which is the research report from the year before. So next year, all of your names will appear. So to our students at SA Home Loans, we hope you see yourselves on the screens and as it flashes before you. I'm just doing a quick page turn of the research report, but it is available on www.davinci.ac.za if you go to research report. You will see all of our doctoral students are profiled, our master's students and our Bachelor of Commerce students are profiled with their projects and their contribution to research. We also include all of our academics, our faculty members and various other students and alumni who have presented and represented the Institute in terms of research projects, conferences, and outputs. You would have seen there pictures of Prof. Kisveta, our president of the Institute, as well as Prof. Ben Anderson, as well as Prof. Kloppe sitting here. We've made it fully interactive this year, so if you go, for example, to Edward's address, and I've only given you an extract, if you click on it, it will take you directly to his whole speech. If you click on any of the master's and doctoral thesis, it will take you directly to that student's particular thesis. So we hope that you will enjoy reading it at your leisure, and that next year when we stand at graduation, all your names will appear in our research output report for 2021. So some people have requested and asked us, why have we selected the galaxy? And as I said to you earlier, it's about the mystery and the wonder, and it's about all of those things. But when you see over there on the screens and in your graduations, but I hope on the screens you can see the twinkling lights. Those of you at the back, you can see the screen behind you. The twinkling stars in our galaxy are each and every one of you, our remarkable students. We are forming our own Davincian galaxy with constellations. I hope you can all see the outline of the purple cow of remarkability there. But we have also, if you look in the research report, we've done a TIPS constellation, and we are going to continue building the Davincian galaxy. But the most important part of our galaxy is every single one of you. People may ask, why a star? And we say, every student is unique. You all come with your own unique story to tell. And every single star in the galaxy has its own unique coordinates and place in the sky. So we want to encourage you over the next year, 2 years, 20, 30, 40 years, to continue to form and build your unique constellation. And we want you to know that it will forever be in the Davincian galaxy, because you are now an alumnus of the Davincian Institute. And what we want to say is that your shape and constellation should look and form however and whatever you want it to be. It must have your unique sparkle. And the big thing around this is you must know that you are never alone. So whether you are standing with your feet in the most beautiful ocean on the most luxurious island, or you are sitting in the sand or the mud in a rural settlement somewhere else, wherever you are, when you look up at that night sky, we all look up at the same sky. So remember that you are never alone. Your home of remarkability is forever your academic home. Our door is always open to you, and you are forever taking your place as one of our shining stars in the Davincian galaxy. And that brings us such tremendous pride. I found a beautiful quote which said, "Why would you wish upon a star if you're already one of them? You were made out of stars, so you only have to start shining brightly." Every single one of you is already that star. You have your own galaxy built inside of you, and you have your own remarkability. I always say that our destiny is not written in the stars. We are the stars, and it is for us to let our light shine so that our star is our own destiny. And that is what I want you to know, that you are the guide to your own light and your own life. But most importantly, I hope that if the skies ever get dark for you, as they always do in our lives, or you are faced with challenges that come in the form of rain clouds, that you forever and always remember that after rain comes the most beautiful rainbow, which is the colors of our remarkability. And that is that you have harnessed your remarkability. So even if some days you are shrouded by cloud, never forget your colors of remarkability are just behind that cloud. And also remember that in the very darkest nights, the brightest stars shine, the twinkle and shine the brightest. So always and forever remember that when there's darkness, your inner star has not died. It may have just lost a little bit of its twinkle. And I hope no one ever takes away your sparkle, because I really believe that each and every one of you deserves to know that you should never apologize for burning too brightly or even collapsing into yourself every night, because that is how the most beautiful sparkling galaxies are actually made. I want to congratulate our newest Davincians. Every one of you has a unique and magical universe that awaits you inside of you and outside of this world. And I want to say that I hope you will enjoy making your beautiful, bright, and unique constellation out there, and that you always share everything with us so that we can continue with you on your journey. And I want everybody to put their hands together for our newest Bachelor of Commerce graduates in our Da Vinci Galaxy. Eutheshni Govender, Heidi Oberholzer, Rowan Beinkies, cum laude, Craig Farrer, Sanet Kleinhans, Umbulahleni Mukudwane, Ramona Munsami, Dylan Roberts, Michelle Scott, Tinus Sarfontaine. And I do not, of course, forget our students that are sitting in Durban. And I have now lost my place of your names in terms of this. I want to get them correct. So I want to say Letitia Atkins, Corinne Button, Beverly Chetty, Labesh Govender posthumously, Naveen Govender, Sharon Cater, Taslim Khan, Gary Mudley, Vigandran Mudley, Shabunim Mohammed, Pranisha Naidu, Sharona Naidu, Adrian Rurt, and Mandy Amelia Stanton, cum laude. Congratulations. I would now like to say that we would like to pay tribute to each of you with a few things that we like to do here at the Da Vinci Institute. And the one is that we like to serenade our students with the sounds of opera and various sounds. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are unable to have our singers come and serenade you directly. So they will serenade you and your loved ones on Zoom. And we sing the song God Bless Africa because regardless of whether you are from here or not from here, regardless of whether you choose to stay or not be here, every single one of you has been educated on African soil. So we congratulate you. Apologies, I know when you cough in COVID, people panic. It's just my strained voice. So please, could we play? I'll get it here. Thanks, Dr. Katamba. God Bless Africa.
And bless all
voices are indeed beautiful. And we hope to have them here again very soon. So the one thing as we close, before I call Dr. Katsamba to formally close and dissolve this congregation, is that every one of you know that you sit here today because of many people and many people who got you on this journey. So as our graduates, I've said the whole day how proud I am of you, but I also want to acknowledge those family members who have come here with you today, those that couldn't unfortunately join you for various reasons today as well, and to say thank you to each and every one of you. It is one thing being the student on this journey, but it is another thing being the support structure to that student. You often make multiple sacrifices so that those you love can get where they got to be here today. So I acknowledge and salute each and every one of you, both here present and online, and those that couldn't make it, for the remarkable role that you've played in getting our graduates where they are today. And I think that your role is far more important in their galaxy than any of us could ever imagine. So thank you for being one of the shining stars in their galaxies, and a round of applause to all of you. After the proceedings, we will sing, now we will rise to sing the National Anthem of the Republic of South Africa, after which the academic procession will leave, and we will then serve refreshments to you and your family. Apologies to those of you on Zoom, you will have to go to your fridges and get something delicious. We will serve refreshments. We do also have, so these are your formal photographs which are done through the graduation process. One of my team members will be outside taking informal photos. So if you want my very good-looking procession here to be part of your photos, you are welcome to ask them to be part of the photographs, to take some photos, individual ones with your family members. If you're groups of friends, you're welcome to. And your program convener will email those to you for download. We will be outside after the session. If you could please all rise as Dr. Katsamba dissolves the graduation ceremony.
As a member of the Senate of the Davincians Institute, I hereby dissolve this congregation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Katsamba. We will now sing the national anthem.